Welcome to Happy Wolf Art and episode 8 of Medieval Comics. This week we're going to look at Brath from Crossgen. Crossgen is a publisher that's out of business, but was putting out some really interesting titles in the early 2000s. If you're not familiar with them, do look them up. So Brath, here, let me give you a quick look at, and you can pause the video. This is a synopsis of the story. I wouldn't consider the story medieval in the sense of the Dark Ages through the High Middle Ages, but there are similarities to the Irish, Scottish battles and the Romans in Britain. So I'm going to categorize this series as medieval comics just because there's some similarities that continued into the Middle Ages. And I think the artist used some of the Scot-Irish dress and medieval type of clothing and weaponry as source material. Anyways, so the writer of this is Chuck Dickson, and he's very well known in the industry. A lot of incredible titles under his belt. He was recently in the news as being taken on under the Rippaverse. If you're interested in looking into that, I don't know a whole lot about it, but there's been a lot of fanfare around that. And so here, this is the prequel of Brath. Let me give you a couple quick insights into the art. Really dynamic art. This is obviously the Romans. The composition of these pages are always really good. This is a huge splash page of them going into battle against the Romans. Another big splash page. Not everything's a splash page, but definitely dynamic artwork. And it's a good story. Very interesting characters. At the back of this prequel, there's this neat section here talking about the different writers and artists, inkers, colorists involved in the series. Gives a little bit of behind the scenes production process. Here's the pencils for that scene, the inks, and the various people involved in the project have put their faces on sort of these historical figures from the time period. Here's Gladiator, and throwback to some of the old Hollywood movies, the historical epics. Colors added, and just typical stuff towards the back. Other titles by Crossgen, but this is a really good series, and I think this would be one of the first series that got me back into comics, or into comics even. Can't say that I was involved in comics early on. My parents didn't let me have too many of them, so it was mostly television inspired knowledge. But this stag character, quick look at it, plays a significant role in this series. This symbol that is emblazoned on his chest here gets explained. And let me give you a quick look through the cover pages. I have 14 issues. I believe that's the entire run, but you may want to double check that. So the artwork is really consistent throughout. At one or two points, I think they bring in a guest artist. The art does go down a notch or two for those issues, but Andrea DeVito, I believe, is the artist. When Andrea is on the title, the artwork is probably at the most dynamic. Issue 10, 11, and let's see, got a couple more, 12, 13, and 14. So anyways, have a look at it. a very fun title, has a lot of history in it. There's some fantasy stuff too, so it's a nice mixture of both. And yeah, thanks for stopping by, and press like, subscribe if you're interested. Check out my Instagram, Happy Wolf Art 1, and I'll leave that in the description if you're interested to follow. Thanks. Bye.